So, Aruna, I was watching a documentary on stress. So they told that this, mind is different and body is different is a very Western concept, and that's the reason today people are getting burnt out because they are pushing their mind. They are not considering the fact that it has an effect on your body. So, what does yoga tell us about this?
So yoga says that we have three bodies. One is this physical body, the gross body, or it's called the Sthula Sharira. And the other body that we have is
Hello everyone, I'm Chandana and welcome to my channel Dilse Talk with CM, episode 6 of Successful Women series. In this series, I talk to successful women from all walks of life. Today I have an expert yoga practitioner, Aruna V N. Aruna V N is a founder of Yoga Darshini. Yoga Darshini is an online Hatha yoga studio. Prior to Yoga Darshini, Aruna spent several years in top international banks. She's also a triathlete and a marathon runner. Drawing from her corporate experience and Vedantic knowledge, she expertly designs yoga sessions that not only cater to mental and physical well-being of people but spiritual well-being as well. She's also recognized as one of the top 51 inspiring digital yoga teachers in India. So let's talk more about yoga and about her personal journey. So welcome, Aruna.
Thank you so much, Chandana. Thank you for inviting me. Very excited to our conversation and looking forward to it.
So, Aruna, tell us about your personal journey with yoga. What got you involved with yoga?
Actually, to be honest, I never thought about yoga. I've never done yoga before, and I always felt that yoga is very boring and there is it's only for old people. I had those kind of thoughts. So I was running quite a bit, and at that time I was also doing my Vedantic studies, and then my teacher said, Aruna, why don't you go do this yoga teacher training? I was like, teacher training? Really? I've never done yoga and you want me to go to do yoga teacher training? So at that time I had just taken a break from work to explore what else I can do. So I said okay, let me go. So I went to a teacher training course without having ever done yoga before. And the first day I went there, and even before our session started, you could practice, and I saw everybody they were just throwing their leg around their head and they were standing upside down, and I was like because running makes your body very stiff, it makes it very tight, and so I could not touch my toes or any such thing. Okay, my body was quite stiff, and so I was like, am I in the right place? What am I doing here? Kind of a feeling. But then the credit truly goes to my teacher, because when I went and asked her, do you think I'm in the right place? Should I go back? Because it was a lot of money and a lot of time that I'm going to invest there in the next 1 month. So she said, no, actually you're a good candidate because you're coming with a complete open mind. You are an empty cup. You don't know anything about yoga. You don't have any preconceived notions about it. So just stick on to it. I think you'll do well, is what she said. And yeah, here I am. So it was fantastic to see how beautiful the practice was, because I was already studying quite a bit about our existential purpose and why are you here, who am I, all this is what Vedantic texts cover. So yoga became like a practice for all the theory that I was studying. So it was very beautiful that way. So yeah, that's how I started, and I never thought that I will be teaching people. So after I did the teacher training course, it was just my practice. I was having a lot of time to practice and I was enjoying it, and then family and friends were like, hey, teach for us, in a very informal way. So I was also working in the social sector at that time. So then in 2019, my spiritual guru, Swami Tejomayananda from the Chinmaya Mission, so it was in Kolvan. I had gone to the Kolvan ashram to spend some time there, and he said, Aruna, go teach yoga. It's like, okay, that's not there in the plan. It's not even there in the horizon. But when your guru says, you just do it, because they have a much far-reaching vision about our lives than what we think. Our perception is very limited, but they can see a lot more. So I said okay, and then I came back, and The first thing that I did was, because I come from a corporate background, I thought I should go teach corporate, because I was very unhappy there. Though I had no reason to be unhappy, I was extremely unhappy there, because it felt like, what am I doing here, See, being good at one thing is a different thing, but doing something with your heart and soul, with that full conviction that you are doing what you're meant to do, is another thing. And I think all humans, we crave for that, in some aspect or the other. We want that, yes, I am doing what I'm meant to do, because that gives us the joy, that gives us that conviction to get up and go through our day with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Otherwise, we're just going through the motions. I'm not saying it has to come from work. For a lot of people, it comes from raising their kids, it comes from raising a family. I mean, it's different for different people, but I didn't know what was mine. But so when my Guruji said, go teach yoga, I think I found my calling, not just as a yoga teacher, but also as a businesswoman, because teaching is one thing, doing it as a business is another thing. And both of it, I'm just thoroughly enjoying the journey, and it has been a ride beyond my wildest imaginations. In fact, Yoga Darshini, the name also was given by my Guruji. So I see it as, I just see myself as an instrument, and his will flowing through me. So that's how it's been for me. Yeah.
So as you said that you felt that, there was a calling, you wanted to have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
So when your guru, he guided you to, go on this path.
Yeah.
So do you feel right now fulfilled, that purpose that you were meant to do, it is being fulfilled?
Absolutely, because even before he said, so in 2016 I was doing my teacher training, and it was in 2019 when I started the Yoga Darshini brand, when he said this to me. But during our teacher training itself, so we have a session where we have to teach, and they will assess us on our... So that came very effortlessly to me. I was surprised, because I have not done yoga before, and that was my first experience with yoga. But when I was taking the class, I was so surprised that it's just flowing, It's not like I have to put in a lot of effort or things like that. So I was very surprised by that. And every day, when I take a class, I feel that, like, of course, so I'm not saying I won't prepare or anything, but more than that, at that spot, that 1 hour when I'm teaching, it's like as if it's all just flowing through me. And that is very humbling, because then you know that there is a much bigger creative power that is driving all of us, and we all can tap into it in some way or the other, isn't it? And that is a great honor and a privilege. And yeah, I feel so amazed and humbled every time I go on the mat and take a class. So yeah.
So another thing is, like, in today's world, we see there are people having a lot of issues. It could be physically or mentally. Do you think what kind of issues can be totally avoided if we do yoga?
First thing I feel is that when you start practicing yoga, you cultivate a lot of awareness about yourself. More than, of course, people feel that yoga is for weight loss, or yoga is for stress relief, so yoga is for, back pain, neck pain relief, whatever, however you may approach it, right? When you're practicing under the right teacher, you develop a tremendous amount of self-awareness, because it starts with, see, when you're in an asana, then you are encouraged to be aware of how your body is feeling at that time. And to be honest, how much attention do we pay to our body in a day-to-day life? Very rarely, because we are just working through our mind, and the body goes through the motions of what the mind wants, right? And but when you cultivate that body awareness, it starts with that. Body is the easiest for us to access and control. So you start with your body awareness, and when you cultivate that level of body awareness, then you also cultivate a level of thought awareness too. You become aware of your thoughts. If you're feeling a particular emotion, you become aware of it, and you also become aware of why you are feeling what you're feeling. So when you're cultivating that awareness, then you become very less reactive, and you become responsive in your life. And when we start becoming responsive, then 90% of complications disappears. And to be honest, we have to take that responsibility that whatever chaos we are causing, we are experiencing, it is caused by us.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of us, we don't want to accept that. Yeah.
That responsibility, once we take that responsibility, and yoga gives us that courage. Because you're taking responsibility for your body, you're taking responsibility for the way you're moving on the mat that 1 hour, and it slowly seeps into other areas of life. So I feel that when people are able to take, I'm not saying you have to take 1 hour a day every day, at least 10-15 minutes of this practice that comes with a lot of awareness. When we start doing that, our life transforms for the better. Your relationships become better. You become better dealing with yourselves. See, if happiness, sadness, it all comes from us only. We are thinking that somebody else should come and just make us happy or solve all our issues and give us that happy good feel. No, it's all in your hands. You are you have complete control over your life, and you get that conviction and you experience it, and then you start applying it in your life. So I feel if we are able to cultivate that awareness, then a lot of our problems will really be solved. Yeah, but people don't accept it. They think that there is some quick fix. You do A, B, C, D, E, and then life becomes better. No, it's a journey.
So, Aruna, I was watching a documentary on stress. So they told that this, mind is different and body is different is a very Western concept, and that's the reason today people are getting burnt out, because they're pushing their mind. They want to achieve something. They're pushing their mind, but they're not considering the fact that it has an effect on your body. So what does yoga tell us about this, and how do we, address this?
So yoga says that we have 3 bodies. One is this physical body that we all know about. It's the gross body, or it's called the sthula sharira. And the other body that we have is called the subtle body, or the sukshma sharira, which is our mind stuff. So your thoughts, emotions, all of this comes under your energy, the prana that we call, it all comes under this sukshma sharira. And the third body that we have is called the causal body, or the seed body, which is called the karana sharira, which has the blueprint of the entire life that we are as of now. Just like how a mango seed has the blueprint of the entire mango tree that's going to come out of, we all have that causal body too.
Like similar to DNA or something?
No, it's not similar to DNA. It's causal body is also subtle. It's not a physical thing. Okay, it's a subtle thing. Just like how we say energy, it's like that. Causal body is like that too. So when we have these 3, so they are clearly defining that these are 3 aspects of us. A gross body and subtle body, it is the different aspects of us, but it is of the same unit. They can't exist one without the other. It's not possible, right? So when we say yoga asanas, for that matter, why in yoga we start with asanas, the gross body is the easiest for us to work with, and it is also the least powerful. So if you want to sit, your body is sitting. If you want to stand, it stands. Whatever you say, the gross body obeys, isn't it? So that's where the asana practice comes in. But the mind is very difficult to control. It is very powerful. Energies are very powerful. You can directly control it or manipulate it till you have that level of, till you have that level of mental clarity, practice, sadhana, all of that comes into play. But to work with your body is very easy. And when you put your body in certain shapes, when you put your body in certain positions, you're also affecting your thought patterns. You're directly working with your thought patterns. You're working with the way the energy is flowing in the body. So this is the whole idea behind how yoga per se works. So we are working on our mind. But we are not directly working on our mind. We are working on our mind through our body and also through our breath. So that's how it is. It is a unit. It's not like hanging in separately. And you have to use your body in whatever mental health, mental wellness practices that you are doing, because how the body feels greatly affects how the mind feels also.
Okay. And is it vice versa?
Vice versa also, how the mind feels the body. So, but it is very difficult. See, suppose you are feeling very sad and I say, hey, don't feel sad. Can you snap out of it? It's not easy, but instead you go for a walk. or you just move your body in some way.
Yeah, because both are related.
Yeah, then but it is easier to do this than that too. So
Because you have more control over your body.
yes.
That's an amazing concept, actually. So, Aruna, I've also seen so many videos on the internet. Probably I might come across racist, but then there are so many white people also, doing yoga videos, etc. So, whenever I watch these videos, in fact, whenever I search for yoga videos, these are the videos which come. And I want to know from you whether these videos are actually authentic. Is this yoga what they're teaching is actually authentic, or what are they teaching?
So this is it's a very deep question, though it may not sound like that. See, we have to understand that yoga per se has been a lifestyle for us Indians. Like nobody was separately teaching Surya Namaskar. It was just a part of their life. Doing Surya Namaskar, doing pranayam, doing this Anulom Vilom was a everyday thing. It was not something special or different. And then somewhere we lost it all. And Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh, right? So we have to give a lot of credit to him for reviving yoga again. And around that time, we also had other masters like the Krishnamachari, and then we had the Ashtanga school that was becoming popular. So what was happening is, in India at that time, we were going through our freedom struggle, and economically we were still struggling for sustenance, and there was so many other things that were going on. But in fact, Swami Shivananda himself has sent his disciples out to the West to go teach yoga. Like Swami Vishnu, I did my yoga teacher training from the Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Center, which was established by Swami Vishnu Devananda. So Swami Shivananda, he was a disciple of Swami Shivananda, and he was teaching at the Forest Academy for many years. And then Swami Shivananda tells him to go to West and spread the message of yoga. And then Swami Vishnu goes to Canada and he establishes the center there. And from there it started in different places, and then it comes back to India. So, see, ultimately the point of yoga is to experience that oneness. It is about going beyond these cultural identities, beyond these all identities that we have are physical, bodily identities. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm an Indian, I'm a mother, father, whatever identity you say, it's all associated with your body. And the whole point of yoga is to transcend that. And you start from wherever you start, and if you're true to the path, it will take you to the end result. So it is okay. Western people, there are a lot of great Western. My yoga teacher is a Westerner. She's a Canadian. Okay. So take knowledge from wherever it comes. And it's good. See, there are so many Indians who are doing shitty work with yoga, and there are so many Westerners who do good work. So we can just take the work for what it is instead of who it comes from, right? And take the knowledge from wherever we can.
So like you are expert in yoga, you've had some amazing teachers, so you are able to identify who's good, who's bad. So we only rely on these likes and views. Yeah. So how do you identify who's a good teacher?
That's a great question. See, a good yoga teacher, you have to experience them, like, just take a trial class with them or whatever. But what are the things that you should look for is, how do you feel after the class with them? Do you feel that you are enough, you're good? Or do you feel, oh, I'm not good enough to do this? Or I can't do this, this is not for me. Right? So that comes from you. And also how kind the teacher is. That is, I think, a very important thing. And also how honest they are. See, nobody can claim that I know everything about yoga. It's an ocean. And it is also like your own experience also comes into play. Your personality plays a very big role. So every teacher is different. Even though we are teaching the same asanas, the way I teach will be very different from another yoga teacher teaches. You just have to find out what resonates the best with you. And definitely look for teachers who are giving alternatives and options. Not everybody has to touch the toes. So what do I do if I'm not touching the toes? So does that mean I'm not good enough? No, there are so many other things also that you can do without touching your toes. So is the teacher capable enough to give that alternatives to you? So that I think is very important. Yeah.
So this is something everybody wants to know. So even I want to know. I want to know what are chakras actually. And
We saw about the gross body and subtle body, right? So just like how we have all these blood vessels and nerves and muscles and skeletons and all of this in our gross body, in the subtle body we have something called as nadis. Okay, nadis, people think it is nerves. No, it's not nerves. It's not equivalent to nerves or anything. So nadis are channels through which energy, the prana, runs in our body. Okay, so this nadis, you won't find it in our gross body. It's only there in our subtle body, but you can experience it. It is available for your experience. Chakras are energy centers, pools of energies. That's all. Just like how we have some vital organs, these are the major points. We have 7 major chakras, and we have so many other minor chakras also. So these are like spools of energy that goes on, and we don't have to do anything specific for them. They are already doing their work. There are many reasons for it to get blocked and unblocked, and you know what we have to focus on? It's very simple common sense. Okay, here people are fascinated by it because it has a very mystical value to it, and they suddenly feel that by activating my chakras then I become like this superhuman, and not really. It takes tremendous practice and a complete modification of your lifestyle to achieve all that, and the purpose of doing it is also very different. As a householder like you and me, we don't have to really go through all those troubles. They're all already doing their work. Your heart is already beating, isn't it? Like that, they are also doing their work. So when so we have all our energies going through all our channels and everything. So when the energy ascends to our crown chakra, then it means that you are moving on to another dimension of your consciousness. You become, you lose your, what to say, you lose this limited idea about yourself, and you wake up to your true self, right? And that will happen by itself through practice. Not only this yoga asana practice, there are so many other different ways through which you can make your mind, you can sublimate your mind and merge it with your supreme consciousness. All right, so that happens with practice. Practice by means, I'm saying, can be anything that is going to make you let go of your limited ego. And ego is not a bad thing. Okay, it is through ego that you are functioning in this world, right? But to know that you are beyond this, all right, so that is what is the purpose of all of this.
if you see in Western culture nowadays, they're talking about aura and all those things. So is there any mention of aura or this kind of energy field around a person in our culture?
See, there is nothing called as aura specifically, but as I said, that subtle body, it is there. Its presence is there. So the gross body is the lowest energy vibration because it's the densest. Okay, higher energy vibrations are our thoughts, energies. They're of a higher energy vibration. So our subtle body is much bigger than our gross body.
So do negative and positive thoughts affect this energy field?
Yeah, of course.
So whenever like I have this, I wanted to probably even experiment with this, is I have felt that, sometimes you go to a room full of people and you feel your energy vibration going high. And the opposite also happens. It goes down too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true, yeah.
So does stress and all other, maybe things, if things are not going well in your life, does that affect your energy too?
Absolutely. Everything is energy. What you eat, what you think, what you drink, who you are with, what kind of thoughts you're feeding, what kind of social media you're consuming. Everything affects your energy. We ourselves are condensed energies. That's all.
So how do we maintain a good energy?
So this is very funny, but it's just common sense. Sleep well, go to bed early, wake up early if you can, eat good food that preferably is home cooked, and eat with a lot of gratitude, because every grain comes from unimaginable level of labor, from the earth, from the farmer, from the transport. It's just miraculous that we are getting that food. So eat with a lot of gratitude. Do some sort of movement practice, whatever you like, gym or yoga or whatever catches your fancy. Move your body regularly, and be mindful of what you are consuming, because now we are doing a lot of mindless consumption, and that is definitely affecting our minds a lot. Whether we like it or not, it affects our mind. We may think that we are just scrolling, but our subconscious is always watching. Simplifying life is the best way to have good energy around you. And it's also very boring to say, but honestly, be truthful. Every lie that you say weakens your body. It physically weakens your body. Every lie that you say, because others may not know, but you always know whether you're lying or not, and that creates a dissonance in you, and that weakens your energy. So be truthful. And all these are, people will say it's so boring and old school, but that's a fact.
Nowadays, people are getting stressed and overwhelmed at work, because people are trying to do much more they can handle. Everybody's in this rat race. So, are there any, techniques or yoga practices or asanas that these people can follow?
Yeah, the first thing that they can do, like to begin with, right, is to learning to breathe properly and turning the awareness to the breath every now and then. Because when you're able to regulate your breath, you're automatically regulating your mind a little effortlessly. So try to do belly breathing, like inhale, expand your belly, exhale, contract your belly, and consciously use your abdominal muscles while breathing, because that's going to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system and put your body in a rest and digest mode. So your stress level will automatically come down immediately, just by doing it for 2-3 minutes. So I usually tell my wherever I go for workshops, I tell that every time you take your phone, before you unlock the screen, do belly breaths for at least 1 minute, and then you see your phone. So definitely we'll be picking our phone like 30-40 times in a day, bare minimum. So you get to do it. And it tremendously improves your mental state. It improves your it improves the way the body functions. It reduces your craving. You stop stress eating. You stop lashing out on people.
We women are, in terms of the responsibilities, it's very different from men. So handling a business and having a family, taking care of child, family, husband, everything, it becomes very overwhelming. And I'm sure it's a struggle. You are running a business also. So how do you balance all these responsibilities and still be productive?
It's very difficult, and I think it's going to be this way at least for another 2-3 generations. Like, of course, now, I'm sure our sons are going to be better than our dads in terms of understanding about responsibilities, but still the burden is still carried by us, and motherhood is really a huge responsibility. I had my child at the same time I started Yoga Darshini, so it was very difficult, and it still is, because she's only 4 now, and I still need to give a lot of time and attention. It's just that we have to be practical about, this is all I can do at this time right now, and be okay with it, and not to get caught in this comparison trap, especially because we have to spend a lot of time in social media as business persons, like whatever platform, it has become like a mandatory thing. So be okay with what you're doing, and there is no rush, to be honest, because when we are rushing and we think we have to do all of it immediately, and we should suddenly become one experience 15x growth or 100x growth in 2 years, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. This is what even I learned. That even if you are putting a lot of effort into something, if it's not meant to happen, it will not happen. And at the same time, I think most people give their best when they are in a flow. That flow of life, I would call it. When you go along with that flow, you get the best output, you're happier.
Resistance is low, basically.
You can't resist life.
And also we should definitely factor in downtimes. I'm learning it the hard way. Because if I'm not working, then I'm working for the house or I'm working for my child. So we are meeting the needs of so many other people constantly, and somewhere our needs don't get met. And we have to meet our needs also, sadly. So the best thing is to schedule in your downtimes. Like,
So what do you do?
currently, what I've done is I'm a big believer in trackers, but not monthly trackers and all. I just have a weekly tracker. Must do activities for me, they are there, and in that I've just added 3 hours of deep work every day. If I did that, enough, that's it. Then it's okay. That's all I will do for that day, because then I'm not able to give my full attention to my child or to my parents who are getting old, and so that is one thing, restricting the time that I can work. Even though I can work for more hours, I'm saying no, this is all I'm going to do. And also definitely having a no rules day in a week. Yeah, because my days start early, so then I have to sleep early most of the days, and then I have to be very mindful about my diet, because I can't eat too much before a class, I can't eat too much before a practice, and if I'm eating junk food, it affects the way my body moves, and you become very sensitive to all of it. But I can't have these rules every day, then I just break, so I have a no rules day once a week. So, and on that day, I try not to do anything related to work and not feel guilty about it, because this productivity is a trap.
I think if you give quality time to something, the output is much better.
Much
than
better,
If
yeah.
you're saying I'm going to give 6 hours, but then you're going to take, and it's not focused. You're doing couple of things and getting distracted, and nothing gets done. But as you said, if we give just 3 hours completely focused, the output is much better. Yeah, much better. So while building Yoga Darshini, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you address them?
So as I said, my child was like, she was a baby at that time, and you know how it is, like you're not getting enough sleep, and it's just chaos. I'm sure all moms will relate. The first few hours are like a blurry or a sleepwalking.
I don't even have some memories. Yeah.
There are a lot of blanks to be filled at that time. So it was like raising two babies. At that time, I was also working with another startup called SNE, Special Needs Empowerment Hub, so sneindia.com. So it was like literally 3 startups at the same time. So, so just to show up consistently was a challenge, but I knew that these are the years where I have to show up. See, if you are a student, you can bunk yoga class. You can't bunk a yoga class when you are the teacher. Yeah. So just that part is so hard, day after day, just going through the grind morning and evening, and also ensuring you're delivering quality no matter how shitty your day was. So I think I'm very grateful that I did it.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was the peak corona time also. So it was like, I don't know how I survived, honestly. So I think those were like really challenging years. And then in 2022, I shifted full time to yoga. And so what personally, see, the business per se, it's a very fulfilling, happy business. But it is my own thing. And I told all problems caused by us. So then you are impatient, and then you feel, they are doing so much, and I have not done anything. It's very easy to get in that. For me, I felt,
It, I think, happens to everyone, especially in this era. Yeah.
because you get to see only the success stories of others, and you feel that you have not done enough, and that mindset changing, that is a huge thing. But having said that, because I come from a corporate, I was in banking, so I knew, and I was working with small businesses through my banking career, so it gave me a lot of clarity on how to run my business and what not to do. Like, first, I never take any debts. I don't need to, but even otherwise, I don't take any debts. I ensure that my teammates are all qualified and they also can deliver quality programs, and the brand itself is valued for the quality that we deliver. So all of this I was able to kind of set it up from day one. So yeah, the biggest challenge I think was to just, survive the first 2 years.
I can totally relate. I'm sure the women out there watching our podcast will relate to this. So, okay, related to this, what's the best advice that you've got till date?
There is no rush. Let things unfold. There is no rush, yeah. So there is no need for us to gallop or catch up or do anything. Just keep doing what you're doing consistently at your own pace. And that is, I think, the best advice that I have received, because it saved me from a lot of anxiety. It saved me from a lot of, this FOMO. Yeah. So there is no rush, and letting things unfold is, I think, the best advice. I keep reminding myself. I say this in my class a lot, right? It's a cue I give. You do it at your own pace, and then it's like, Aruna, you can also do it at your own pace. So yeah, I think
this is the kind of advice that everybody today needs. Because honestly, I feel like there was a time where shops were open probably till 5 o'clock and offices were till 2 o'clock, and still the world was running. But today everybody's working and everybody's tired, everybody's over consuming.
And we don't have to be available 24/7. This phone has come in really.
I think these productivity tools, we think that they're going to make us more productive, we'll have more free time. But eventually what happens is we start taking more things on our head and start doing more and end up becoming more overwhelmed. So these productivity tools are actually reducing productivity.
Absolutely. See, we should use our energy for creative purposes. I think that really fills us up. But we are outsourcing all creative work to all these tools, and we are sitting and doing all this.
Now AI has also come.
So ideally, they should do all this cooking, cleaning, cutting, meal planning. All this boring work should be done when we should sit and create in so many ways, right? And that will fill us up, having that, doing things with creativity. So yeah.
Is there anything you would like to tell our viewers about yoga and the power of yoga?
See, there is only 3 things that we want in life, okay? If you boil it down, it's not my words, my Guruji's words. We all want good health physically. Mentally, we want peace of mind. Intellectually, we want clarity in thoughts. If these 3 things are there, our life's sorted. The one thing that can give you all these 3 things is yoga.
Do you want to give any message to the women who are watching our podcast, who are going through a lot of stress in their life, of course, managing all these things, and they are, trying to have a good career or trying to build a startup or whatever they are doing. So what message would you like to give as an entrepreneur and as a yoga practitioner?
So you're already doing a great job. So congratulate yourself on that. It's not easy. First, congratulate yourself. Be proud of yourself. Appreciate yourself. And whatever validation you need, you first seek and get it from within yourself. Because we tend to seek a lot of women. Generally, it's been a conditioning. I don't know. We tend to seek a lot of external validation. Not needed. You validate yourself. And as a yoga practitioner, I'd say, kindly move your bodies, take care of your bodies. Don't scrimp when it comes to investing in your health. We spend on so many other things and we don't even think about it. But we don't want to go learn under a proper teacher, or we don't want to spend for our own health. Please don't scrimp on yourself. It is an investment. So we all have to work towards not having to depend on somebody else to do our potty when we hit our 80s. Yeah. So for that, you have to start working in your 20s and 30s. There is no other option. So take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Aruna. That was a fantastic, podcast, and I'm sure we'll have many more conversations here. Thank you for watching this podcast, and I'm sure you had a lot to take away. I found it interesting. You must have also found it very interesting. So if you like the kind of content I'm putting, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, hit the bell icon. Okay, so see you soon. Bye-bye.